This is the Fantasy Roadshow.
Oh, welcome in to another episode of the Fantasy Roadshow. We are your hosts. You can call me Truck. I'm joined as always by Shane O'Mac, Kulz. You can find us on Twitter at fantasy_truck or at smccormick_FF, at Kulz_sports. You all right over there, Kulz?
Yeah, it's my stupid light that always falls.
Oh, yeah.
Always knocked off.
Difficulties, yeah. Well, this episode is brought to you by Rule One Proteins. Go to www.rule1proteins.com. Enter promo code ROADIES40 at checkout. Get it 40% off. That's ROADIES40. Shane, how you doing today?
Doing well. Just checking the frantic weather updates for today, like I always do late in the season on Sundays.
So what's going on? We got a messy day across the league, or what do you think?
Somewhere, yeah. Stay away from any passing game. Well, not a lot to play anyway, but Carolina, Atlanta, stay away from passing games for sure. It looks like there.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to see updates on Cleveland and Chicago.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it's a gloomy day over here.
It's in Cleveland.
It's in Cleveland.
You're right. Yeah. My mistake. I was like Cleveland and Chicago. I'm like, it doesn't look good outside. Yeah. Coles, how you doing, buddy?
Good. I clearly don't hook that light up correctly. It falls every single time.
Yeah, we'll work on that. We got that going. But welcome in. It is week 15. The fantasy playoffs are officially here. We hope everyone out there got into the playoffs. Hopefully you got a first round bye. But if not, we're here to help you out and get you some start-sit answers going. So, good games on yesterday, huh? What'd you guys think?
I didn't think they were very good.
I was speaking a little sarcastically.
That Vikings Bengals was kind of exciting at the end, though. Last quarter.
Yeah. I thought the Vikings were going to win that for sure. I didn't expect the Bengals to come back and win that game, but it's the NFL.
Yeah, Gibbs, Laporta, Amon-Ra, Goff, huge days. So if you had them, you're happy.
Yeah, Goff 5 touchdowns.
T. Higgins, huge day. Ty Chandler, huge day. If you have them, you're happy.
That play was insane. That reach around over the goal line, that was nuts. Absolutely crazy.
I have Laporta in my biggest league, but I have a first round bye. I'm sitting very relaxed today. I have my 3 biggest leagues. I have first round buys, and like I have a couple just leagues that I don't really pay attention to that I have matchups today. So it's a very relaxed day. If I lose all my matchups, I won't even blink because I literally it's just the throwaway leagues. But so I have one matchup that I made an epic comeback that I have a lot of emotional equity in, and that team is I had Ty Chandler. He went off, and I'm projected to win by 30. So I'm sitting back and enjoying today. Underdog is where all my focus is, although you just can't get too invested in that because it's a dart throw anyways at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. That doc you made was extensive and is very, very, very well put together. So nice job, Coles. Did you share that with Shane at all or no?
No, I haven't seen that.
I mean, he's also not really involved in underdog, so I don't know how much this means to him. You know what I mean?
Well, it'd be interesting for him to look at. I think he would not dive into too much, but Shane, I think you would find it interesting. That's all.
Yeah, it's just I mean, if you not actively involved, you don't really know what you're looking at as much. But
yeah.
Jalen Hurts downgraded to questionable after his sickness worsened overnight.
Oh, really?
Jalen Hurts. Oh, there goes the light.
Shock.
Jalen Hurts going down would be horrible for just football in general.
Yeah, I have him in a league where I'm fighting in the first round of the playoffs, and I need him to play. I don't have.
I mean, I just think anytime you have a
Thomas Gill.
huge star that affects a team in a game that much, going down in the playoffs, it just adds to the frustrations of fantasy football.
Yeah.
So, not good.
Yeah, I think he ends up playing, so I'm not overly worried about it, but we'll see what happens.
Well, you also don't know how sick he is, so.
Very true.
Yeah.
I don't know how sick he is, but I've seen players play during when they're not feeling well, and Jalen Hurts seems like the type of guy that is he's going to be out there. That's just my inclination. That's all.
Yes, I mean, I can agree with you on that. He does seem like that person, but it all goes back to you don't know how sick he is.
Very true.
You don't have a camera to see if he's in the fetal position, throwing up, shaking this morning.
Yeah.
I would say if people that have Hurts and no other options, like grab Mario to just have as insurance.
Yeah, I got good old Tommy Cutlets on my bench, so I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, but you can't put him in. You'd have to put him in today, like at noon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because it's a Monday night game for Hurts.
Yeah. That's rough.
Right. Truck hasn't been planning for that because he's just been playing Call of Duty for the last 3 days straight.
Yeah, I've been putting in work in the duty. So, Jerry Fort, what's going on? Dak or Purdy? What do you guys think? Dak or Purdy? I mean, it's kind of hard not to start Dak at this point, right? He's MVP front runner. Has been killing it lately. Tough matchup against Buffalo. Purdy's got a juicy matchup this week, doesn't he?
At Arizona.
Yeah. So I mean, who do you go with here? The guy that's the MVP front runner or somebody with an even better matchup? I personally probably would go Purdy, but I also think that Cowboys Buffalo game is pretty high scoring, so I'm fine with either one. But I think I lean Purdy. I don't know what about you, Kulz?
I can't hear anything right now. I have a video going off, and I can't find it.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Shane, what do you think, Shane?
I'd go Purdy just because of two things. Like I like the matchup versus the Cardinals. Inside weather, Buffalo is going to be right. Weather can change, but the second half they're forecasting for a good amount of rain, like 80% chance. Yeah. So I'll just take Purdy in a better matchup. They're probably like back-to-back in rankings anyway. So if they're that close, tiebreaker for me would be matchup and weather.
Dak or Purdy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Purdy's the safe option. Like, to me, this is a no-brainer Bills spot against the Cowboys, and it's either going to be a huge shootout that like last man / Allen just wins late, or the Cowboys are going to lay an egg. So, because there's a potential of them laying an egg, I would just go Purdy over Arizona. That team's trash, and they're going to score 35 at least. I mean, definitely 4 touchdowns. So a lot of those have been through the air. You can probably guarantee 2 passing touchdowns from Purdy at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it's like McCaffrey running 2 in, Elijah or Mason getting 1 and Debo getting 1, but they're going to score 28. Like, that's just kind of guaranteed. Whereas the Cowboys, on the road, bad spot for them with a desperate Bills team that has to win. There's a good chance Cowboys I think they're going to lose, like, guaranteed. So, I've said it before. I love the Cowboys because they're so easy to predict. This is just one of those spots that they lose. So, I mean, they look like they're humming and can't really nag on offense, but you never know. Like, it's just, to me, going to be one of those games. So the potential of them laying an egg, I'd go Purdy.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there. ECR does have Dak Prescott at 4, Purdy at 5. So just like you mentioned, they're back-to-back in rankings. Yeah. Jamie, what's going on, Jamie? With Olave being ruled out, possibly think Robert Woods would be a good play, or Noah Brown. My other backup is Deontay Johnson, but played last night. Shake my head. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Olave is a game time decision. They're going to see how he feels out there during pregame warmups.
Yeah, I think he's out. From what I last read, that it's going to be time, but there's not a lot of optimism there.
Okay.
So I would start preparing for him to be out.
Okay. Between Robert Woods and Noah Brown, I'm assuming he's talking about Noah Brown. I would go Noah Brown, man. They got Case Keenum throwing the ball. He slings it, and I think with the lack of wide receivers there, I think Noah Brown could be a.
I would look at other options if possible.
Yeah, I would go. I would look at
Texans are gonna
Shaheed.
get crushed. Yeah.
If Olave's out, Shaheed, I think Shaheed.
Oh, he is back.
Yeah, he's back. He's playing. I would go Shaheed over those replacement Houston guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
if he's on the waiver wire, take a look. Also, take a look on the waiver wire and let us know who's available, and we'll let you know if we like them over Robert Woods or Noah Brown. Another question here. If A-Chain is ruled out, would you play McBride, Goddard, or Hubbard? Flex play 16-team dynasty. What do you guys think? I like McBride, but what do you guys think out of those three?
Well, let's start with the status of A-Chain. Have you seen any updates there? I know it was like really questionable. But I don't know. Have you seen anything else, Shane?
I don't. Everything's pointed that he's not going to play. So I think he's like a Olave. They'll rule him out here shortly.
That sucks. Damn it. And Tyreek is also like up to his discretion. I think he will play. I saw like sources close to Tyreek said because he's chasing 2,000 that he's likely to play. So that sucks about Jane. He's a guy who's I think probably counted on pretty heavily for the playoffs here.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean we have some underdog shares in him, so that takes a pretty big hit there. Tyreek Hill would be an even bigger hit, but he's higher owned. So anyways, so Goddard, Hubbard, or McBride. Well, Goddard, throw him out. So for me, it's McBride or Hubbard. I'd probably go Hubbard there. Volume, I think the Panthers. Well, what were you saying about weather there? I don't know that.
It's bad rain, but that that tilts itself to the running game. So
yeah, so even more so, just volume. I honestly think the Falcons could lose this game. I imagine if they're going to win, they have to just feed Bijan, which could be good in their favor. But I don't know. I'm not very confident in the Falcons in this spot. So, probably a lower scoring game with the weather, kind of a grinded out type defensive matchup. He's going to be kind of a touchdown dependent play, but because of volume, I'd probably go Hubbard. I don't know. McBride's also been great, but
San Francisco's a tough matchup.
Yeah, it is. I don't know. I'd probably go Hubbard, but I could see if you need a big home run swing, maybe McBride if it's PPR, and you need like a 102 touchdown day, could potentially get that from McBride. But if it's just kind of high floor, safe play, let's go get our home run swings elsewhere in the lineup, then I would go Hubbard.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Hubbard's been somewhat trustworthy, basically a top 24 running back the last 3 weeks, almost pretty much the last 4 weeks. But yeah, absolutely. I like that. Dylan Fink, what's up? Happy playoffs. Happy playoffs to you, Dylan. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully you're going to win your matchup. Few questions, different leagues, all full PPR. Beautiful. Pick 2, Pollard at Buffalo, Jaden Reed at Tampa Bay, James Cook versus Dallas. So between those 3, Pollard, Jaden, and James Cook, pick 2, full PPR.
Pollard and Cook. I mean, Reed's definitely interesting, but I have those 2 in a different tier than Reed. I mean, Reed's he's been standing, and I think he's exceeded expectations from this year, and going into next year, he's in a great spot. But Pollard and Cook are just in a different tier for me.
Yeah, Christian Watson is not playing. So that's what makes Jaden Reed somewhat interesting. But I agree with you. Pollard and Cook are in a different tier. Shane,
Waddle or Reed starts to get interesting as well, but I also think Waddle's in a different tier, so I go Waddle there.
Yeah, even in a tough matchup.
Yeah.
I think
it will help Waddle if Tyreek plays, actually.
Yeah, I think so too.
Either way, I'm taking
and then pick one defense. Titans versus Houston, Saints versus Giants, Ravens versus Jacksonville.
Saints.
Yeah. Saints.
I can see why he's tempted by the Titans with Case Keenum, but I think the Saints have been pretty good the last couple of weeks, and they're at home. And
I mean, they had like 29 last week.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
So another home matchup in a game they should win. I mean, Cutlets has to come back to earth at some point. He's obviously not a good starting quarterback. Like, he's not a starting quarterback in the league. He's played great, but Waller's coming back. I could hear the argument for them, but it's not realistic. The Saints still know they have a chance at the playoffs at home against the team they should beat. It's going to be just a beat down, I think. Tough game for
I can't believe the people in New York are actually calling him their franchise quarterback. Like, it's some
that's
kind of
people
troll,
that
right?
don't know football. I mean,
sure.
You hear the loudest people don't know football. Like, someone that knows football just doesn't entertain that. So, it's dumbass fans that like, oh my God, 3 straight wins. It's like the Linsanity bullshit. And New York's loud, so you're hearing about it.
Yeah, Dylan's got one more. Pick one. James Conner versus San Francisco, Ford versus Chicago, Devin Singletary versus Tennessee, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire versus New England. Pick one. Definitely not James Conner. Mm-hmm. Ford's interesting. Devin Singletary's interesting.
Why definitely not James Conner? Is it because of the matchup and like has his share gone down at all?
No, his share hasn't gone down at all. He just hasn't been very efficient. Last week he had a decent game, but the couple games prior to that, he's just kind of been untrustworthy in a terrible matchup against the 49ers. I just wouldn't feel good about that going into the playoffs with.
Yeah, and he's losing that third down passing game role. Like Michael Carter is taking some of that, and DeMarcado is back this week. So if they get behind, which they should, like, he's not going to get that third down role, that passing game when they're behind today.
Yeah.
No, I was genuine. I wasn't questioning you. I was genuinely asking because I don't, as you know, I don't pay attention to James Conner. He's one of those players that aren't ever on my radar.
Yeah, I have him in a league, so I've been keeping track, and he was decently usable last week, but prior to that, it's been tough.
See, but I don't think like definitely not because Clyde. I mean, it's Clyde. Singletary hasn't. Pierce been worked in more, and he's kind of like getting some touches at the goal, and so like I would take Conner over those two.
Well, Singletary 13 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown last week.
Okay, well now they're playing a good run defense with Case Keenum at quarterback and no other weapons. Like, it's not a good matchup. Anyone on the Texans, I wouldn't start. And then Ford at Chicago, like, we know how good that run defense has been also.
Yes,
so that's why I'm saying definitely not Conner to me without really paying attention to Conner like week in and week out. Yeah, I agree. That's also not a good matchup, but I wouldn't say definitely not. I'm biased here. I go Ford because I'm relying on him heavily in underdog. So I'm just convincing myself that he can catch a few balls and breaks one. So I would go Ford here, but I'm biased by kind of leaning on him this week.
Yeah. I was looking at that Devin Singletary and Pierce split, and Pierce had 4 carries last week to Singletary's 13. I found that interesting. But, James Conner last week, 25 carries, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
That was 2 weeks ago.
That was James Conner?
That was
I'm like, what the fuck are we even talking about here?
Yeah,
prior to that,
2 weeks ago,
7 points, 8 points, 7 points. Since he came back, that was his first good game. And he was going against Atlanta, Houston, and the Rams. Couldn't get it done. And he got it done against Pittsburgh, scoring 22 fantasy points. So, I see what you're saying. but I wouldn't feel good about it.
Okay, then start Clyde against New England.
I would go Ford. I think your first, what you said first.
That's where I lean as well.
I think you had it with Ford.
Yeah, I stand by that. But again, I'm biased, so I can understand.
You got
it's Connor or Ford. Singletary and Clyde. I'm not even entertaining though.
All right, Kansas City defense or Atlanta defense?
Kansas City for sure.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Carolina's not going to be throwing much, so not as much opportunities for turnovers.
Yeah.
And then we got to pick 2 here: Brees, Zeke, DeAndre Swift, Antonio Gibson getting the start with Brian Robinson out.
I mean, I'm going Brees and Swift.
Yep.
I get the intrigue with Zeke after how much volume he got, but I actually think Swift, he was going to be on my green light list this week. I just think it's one of those games that they need to get him going. That's definitely a part of the Eagles offense late in the season that kind of opens everything up, is the ability to be physical and run the ball. So they're going to start, stressing that later here in the season. But the Hurts thing definitely worries me. I just don't like to touch Zeke, and then against that defense, I don't like to touch Patriots. So add that into that's a tough defense. I mean, Zappy is not going to have the type of game he had last week against Kansas City. So
no, yeah, I agree with that.
A worry there for me.
I like Brees and DeAndre Swift, surprisingly, with my you guys say I have a hatred for DeAndre, but I do like both of them as well this week. So all right, Seth Sizzle, what's going on, Mr.
Love
Sizzle?
the name,
right? With Hurts questionable, should I start Stafford? I like Stafford this week. Great matchup against Washington. I think he has a dominating week. So I would say yes. Start Stafford, be safe, and get you a good fantasy production out of him. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I love Stafford this week. I also would look at what you need. I'm probably starting Stafford either way because I have him as a top 5, top 8 for sure. Quarterback, I don't know. I haven't looked into Hurts. That is so tough because Hurts is the kind of guy that could get you 30 spot, where Stafford's probably not going to do that. There's no rushing upside, but I can see him scoring 3, maybe 4 touchdowns this week with 300 yards. So it depends how questionable. I haven't heard anything about Hurts. I saw Shane. The first I've heard about it was Shane. So
he's taken a separate airplane, so he's not flying with the team today. If he can make it, he'll be flying on a separate airplane. I just read.
That's wild. So yeah, Stafford.
Yeah. That's tough. Yeah, Stafford, he's got a great matchup, so I think will be a serviceable replacement for you. Jerry Ford, another question. Full PPR need to Hubbard, Ridley, McKinnon, London, Singletary, Shaheed, have A-Chain too. A-Chain still questionable. We don't think he's going to play. We just talked about Hubbard. We talked about Singletary. Now we're putting in the mix Ridley, McKinnon, Drake London, Rashid Shaheed. Full PPR here.
Well, throw away London. We heard about Shane O'Mac saying whether stay away from Falcons receivers, which is tough after a week like last week, right?
Yeah.
Gosh, I don't know. Would you go Hubbard over London, Shane?
I would also Carolina is sneakily good against the pass. They give up the third fewest fantasy points to wide receivers this year.
Okay.
London had an awful game the first time they played against them also.
Yeah, and then Ridley playing the Ravens, really tough matchup.
This is a tough question here. We're gonna have to break this down because I had Ridley in London on my red light list this week.
Yeah.
And then Singletary, we just talked about him. McKinnon is a throwaway for me. So Shaheed with Olave out, that becomes pretty interesting. And I just think probably have to start Ridley just from he's in a different tier. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I was leaning Hubbard Ridley initially.
Yeah, Hubbard Ridley is what I would do as well. I understand Shaheed, but
Yeah, Shaheed makes sense if Olave's out.
He's out. He's ruled out.
Is it official?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there we go. Then.
if you ever say someone's out or injured or something, you'll hear the follow up. Is it official?
Well, that's a fair question. There's a lot of speculation, and you never know.
Like, no, Ryan, it's fucking Tuesday. It's not official, but he has a broken.
Well, then when you come at me and say
ankle.
when you say he's out
8 weeks,
I need to know
Ryan.
if it's official.
He's out 8 weeks, but
well,
no,
then that's
he's
official.
not officially out right yet.
Yes. Well, if he's out 8 weeks, then he's officially out this week. That's how it works.
My sources are reporting he's out.
Your sources? Okay, yeah. Beautiful.
All
right, so we're going Hubbard Ridley.
Like, according to my sources, it is official.
Okay, there we go. All right, we got Jay. Cleveland or Atlanta defense? Cleveland against Chicago, who's been rolling lately. Atlanta taking on the Panthers. Probably Atlanta, right?
I'm going Cleveland.
No, I'm going Cleveland also, even though I think they're going to win.
Yeah, I just.
Even though I think the Bears are going to win. Sorry.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm like, wait, what are we saying here?
Yeah.
But I still have Cleveland.
Yeah, the Bears have turnover issues. Fields turns the ball over quite a bit.
Yeah, I always like a home team, and then like I said, this weather, I don't know how much passing you're going to see where there's sacks and interception opportunities.
And I also don't like, as bad as Carolina is, they're horrible. This is a game where I think they keep it close. So I don't know. Definitely Cleveland.
This is a game the Panthers could win.
That's what I mean. It's a winnable game for them.
Atlanta.
Yeah, it's not a good spot for Atlanta.
Yeah. All right. Well, then I'll ride with you guys and go Cleveland. Full PPR, pick one, Devon Achane with injury, Chuba Hubbard, Jerome Ford, Calvin Ridley. I have Raheem Mostert as my RB1. So a lot of guys we just talked about, Hubbard, Ford, Ridley, full PPR with Achane sitting out.
Have we discussed this yet? Did we discuss Ford versus Hubbard, or has it been Hubbard in every other situation?
It was Hubbard in other situations, but Hubbard and Ford here. I'm going to look something up real quick.
I'm going to lean Hubbard just because he's going to dominate more of the carries over Miles Sanders versus Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going Hubbard as well. What are you looking up?
Jerome Ford, his activity in the passing game. Last 4 weeks, 5 targets, 7 targets, 3 targets, 6 targets.
How long has? Yeah, that was all the same. It doesn't matter. I was going to say how long has Flacco been starting, but
yeah, I was curious to see what his passing game work was like, but
it was good from when I watched. Like, he ran a couple like go routes or like wheels, and Flacco is looking for him on those. So you hit one of those, and there's your day for Ford.
Yeah, I mean, he caught 5 balls last week, had 12 carries, 50 yards. He's been a RB20 for the last 6 weeks, top 20 running back. So,
Uh-oh. Truck can't answer this one.
Waddle or Rice and standard. Oh, come on.
Yeah, Truck, just don't look.
Come on. All right, you guys go ahead. PPR is standard, people. Get with the program. It's PPR or nothing. No.
I like Rice with his ability to score a touchdown over Waddle. Waddle's a PPR guy.
Yep.
And Rice, I think he scores a touchdown in this game like he has been. Like, Mahomes has said we need to start going now, which means he's going to start just keying in on what's working. And Rice has been the one bright spot in that receiving room. So Rice.
Yeah. Waddle's not getting any end zone targets lately.
Yeah.
So
how funny is this? Atmospheric conditions.
It's a great way to put weather conditions.
All right.
Atmospheric.
Yeah. Bryce, chill the fuck up, bro. We're just going to say with the weather.
I like it. I like it. I like the vocabulary there, Bryce.
Atmospheric conditions.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Let's go Dak or Mahomes. What do you think there, Shane? You're the resident Cowboy fan.
I would go Dak in this situation because I think Mahomes is not in any better matchup or weather condition. So I would stick with Dak.
Yeah, he's got better weapons too that can catch the freaking ball.
Yeah, so I go Dak as well. I think that's going to be a shootout, fun to watch game. I'm really excited for it. I do think the Bills win, but Dak's been rolling. Just keep, stay on that train. Jones, Cooper, Hubbard, Schultz at flex. Is Schultz playing?
He's playing, yeah.
He is.
PPR. Way to go, Bryce.
Yeah.
I would not really trust Aaron Jones. I don't like guys first week back of injury, even though AJ Dillon's out. So Chupa or Hubbard, God, I can't. At this point, we've said Hubbard so many times that I think I just plant that flag.
Oh man,
I don't love Amari. I mean, I know it's Shane. Shane likes to say away Amari, away and home and away Amari. So he does have an okay matchup. Oh no, Tyreek Hill's inactive. God.
Oh wow. All right, adjust your lineups, people. Amari Cooper, 14 targets last week.
Tyreek on. I'm going to be distracted for a little bit. So,
what were you saying about? Did you just say something about who'd you say about targets?
Amari Cooper, 14 targets last week.
Flacco has, he's been on him. I don't mind Cooper in this home game. I haven't seen anything about the weather being awful, like wind-wise and stuff.
Well, weather's always fucking brutal in Cleveland.
Yeah, but it's not getting the national. I don't think it's that bad. So because it's not getting talked about. So I don't mind Cooper in this matchup. I mean, I don't think you're the Bears guy. I don't know if is their secondary going to be that tough as opposed to the running game.
No, the secondary has been better. They're kind of middle of the road as far as defense secondaries go. So it's not a matchup that's I would say good or bad, but I think Amari could have a big game. I mean, 14 targets last week makes me want to start him over Jones, Hubbard, and Schultz at the flex.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. I can co-sign that. Gosh, Tyreek. It's brutal, man.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't know. Like I've got a choice in one of my leagues between GJ Moore and Waddle, and I think this hurts Waddle more than it helps him. Like I think he exclusively sees Sauce Gardner coverage now.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's tough.
Oh, and Devon A-Chain is active.
A-Chain is active. Let's go.
Wow. So that was the opposite. Everything I was reading was going to be reversed. All
right, I got a question for you guys.
Let's hear it.
With Nico Collins likely not playing today, would you guys?
Is that official?
Did you hear the wording I used? Likely not playing today.
He's out. He's been ruled out, according to my sources.
Okay, according to Shane's sources, he is out. So, do you guys like Jake Ferguson, Brandon Cooks, Gabe Davis, any one of those three in lieu of Nico Collins?
I don't mind Ferguson, actually. If this game was at home in Dallas, I would tilt more Cooks. But on the road, I think Buffalo is – I think they're down a safety and some linebackers, so I feel
Cooks is questionable with an illness currently.
So I think Ferguson may be that's where they get some work done.
Yeah, and Gabe Davis put up a donut last week on my starting lineup, which that was brutal. I like Ferguson. I can get behind that.
I mean, it's tough sometimes to get in that mindset that you're putting a tight end in the flex spot over receiver, but I think he's done enough that to rely on him.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, I appreciate that. Casey Martin, welcome in, Casey. Risk A-Chain or go Mike Evans, James Cook, or Rice. We just found out that A-Chain is active. So with that being said, you guys like A-Chain Mike Evans, James Cook, or Rashee Rice. Throwing out Rashee Rice, basically to me, A-Chain, Mike Evans, James Cook. Cook, tough matchup. I like Evans. Obviously, he's been dominating lately. So for me, it's between A-Chain and Evans.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to risk it with A-Chain, especially if I've got somebody like Mike Evans that should be fine in a PPR league, and Godwin's kind of questionable. I don't know if they've said he's playing for sure, but
yeah, I saw that he is questionable still. I limit your risk in the playoffs. You know, go Evans. Evans has been trustworthy this entire season, and trust him in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. I was going to go Evans.
Okay. ETN or Waddle, PPR, Vito, young Vito, what's going on? ETN? Going ETN, PPR?
Yep. Yeah, I am.
Okay. I think we're all on board there. And then we got Jerome Ford. Randy Miller says Jerome Ford versus Chicago or Chuba Hubbard versus Atlanta. Chuba, I should have put on the graphic this week. A ton of Chuba questions. That's great. Ford or Chuba. We just talked about this. And you guys said Chuba. Does that still stand? You guys are still going Chuba in this game?
Yep.
Yes,
I am. Touches, volume of touches.
All right, we'll make it unanimous. We'll go Chuba over Ford. Ford's tempting to me. All right, Randy Miller, another question. Goddard or Taysom Hill, PPR, a friend of the podcast. Taysom Hill, we talk about him all the time.
Taysom Hill's a friend of the podcast.
He's our friend.
He's shouted out Fantasy Roadshow.
Yeah, you guys going Goddard here over Hill?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
I mean, Taysom could have one of those weird explosion games, but it's hard to really trust that in the first round of playoffs.
Yeah, he's just all over the place. Last week, he did have 13 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown. Yeah, I go Goddard over Hill. Kulz, I'm assuming you agree with that statement.
Yeah, Taysom Hill doesn't exist to me, so.
Okay. All right, any other questions out there? Feel free to chime in at any point. I'm going to look through a few other things on my end, see if you guys can help me out.
This weather update I just read, it is pouring rain in Cleveland. So now we have pouring rain with Cleveland, Chicago.
Jesus.
Yikes.
I don't know. So do you guys, though, I don't know if rain, as long as it's not windy, I don't know. I don't know if that is that bad for people like DJ Moore and Cooper.
I don't know. I mean, it's Justin Fields, right? Does his game change in the rain? Probably, because he's
a
little volatile.
Yeah, he could run more.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine they're going to – I don't know. I'm still going ahead with the Bears players.
Ooh, Calvo. This is my
What's up, Calvo? Start two. Puka, DJ Moore, Waddle. I like this. Puka for sure. I'm starting Puka and I'm starting DJ Moore.
Same.
Okay. Yeah, Calvo, I had that same call. I'm trying to decide between Moore and Waddle. And like I said, the weather, I don't like it in Cleveland, but I'm a little concerned with Waddle now being the number one guy.
Yeah. All right, so we're going Puka, DJ Moore.
Shakalaka!
We needed one of those this week. Just throwing it out there. All right, Jerry Fort. Another question. Full PPR. Nice job. 2 questions. You guys said go with Hubbard and Ridley with A-Chain now active. Do I adjust? That was with the idea that A-Chain is not playing. Would you guys go A-Chain over Ridley or Hubbard?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Which one? I'd probably go over Ridley.
Yeah, I was leaning that way.
Yep.
Because I actually think no Tyreek Hill could help A-Chain now. He gets more maybe work even out of the receiving game.
Very true. Especially with Waddle getting locked down by Sauce.
Yep.
All right, so we're going Hubbard and A-Chain.
Hubbard and A-Chain.
All right, beautiful. All right, let's see.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm all right. It's, just a little something. Shane, how your team's doing?
I had all right. My main big league. I've got. I did have Laporta last night, which was great, but I also had a Pittman game. I had Pittman who got hurt and going against St. Brown, so it's dicey. So we'll see. I need to check my a couple other leagues. Our Sports Ethos League, I don't feel very good now about Flacco, having to start Flacco. I was hoping we'd hear some news out of Seattle that Gino wasn't going to play so I could play lock, but he's looks like he's going to play. So I'm stuck with Flacco.
Yeah. It looks like Gino is going to play.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. He's expected to play.
He had 2 full practices.
All right, we got another question here from Sports Spotlight. Welcome in. Start 3, 2 at wide receiver and 1 at the flex spot. We got Zay Jones, Hollywood Brown, Zay Flowers, my bad. Zay Jones as well. Noah Brown, Trey McBride, and Aaron Jones. PPR. We need 2 wide receivers and 1 flex.
Flowers and probably Brown, Marquise, Hollywood.
Flowers and Brown at wide receiver.
Yeah, Zay Jones is interesting. I mean, he got a lot of targets.
I was going to say Zay Jones
matchups. Yeah,
Zay Jones. He killed Baltimore late last year in a home game. Like he had 130 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I trust Shane. I was gonna say Zay, Hollywood, and Trey McBride, but I trust Shane O'Mac. Zay was interesting to me, so I don't know that history, but
Marquise Brown also coming off his heel injury, he was limited. He never got a full practice in all week, so I always a little bit leery of that too. Of a possible
I don't know if you want 2 receiving options for the Cardinals against the 49ers either.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound good. That's all right. So we're going Zay, Hollywood, and Zay.
Zay Hollywood. No, Zay and McBride.
Oh, we're going Zay McBride.
Or no, I think so, right? Shane O'Mac? Yeah.
Okay. All right. Young Vito over here. We got Rashee Rice or Jackson Smith and Jigba. Full PPR. I like JSN. Going against the Eagles defense.
The matchup's good, but I will still go the number 1 target receiving option with Rice, whereas JSN is going to be number 3.
Yeah, easily Rice for me.
Yeah, I like JSN this week, but I get what you guys are saying. Matt Doug, what up, Matt Doug? Start 2, OBJ, CEH, Aaron Jones. OBJ's been killing it lately.
Yeah,
so he's a starter for me. And then between CEH or Aaron Jones, I mean, can you guys trust Aaron Jones in his game back this week, or do we go with CEH? I probably go with CEH. Let's risk, but.
I go OBJ and Aaron Jones. I don't think CH is going to get you shit. So, if he doesn't score a touchdown, I mean, you're going to get 5 points maybe. In my mind.
Yeah, I think we talked about it early. I don't love Aaron Jones on his first game back. I don't love CH necessarily, but I'd hate. We've seen it before happen with Jones, whereas he came in and either got re-hurt or was limited. So I tend to play it more safe with first round of playoffs of guys coming back off of injuries.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I understand that. So it's classic. Like, if you need a home run hitter, you're probably gonna you're probably gonna get like 4 to 8 points with CEH. Like, that's just what you're gonna get. I also think like without Pacheco and the urgency lit between the Chiefs, they're going to start throwing the ball more, like goal to go, like we've seen them do in the past. So like you probably won't even see Clyde in the backfield once they're goal to go. I think you could see McKinnon back there and start. I mean, that worked for them so well a couple of years ago that I think that's the direction that they go in.
New England's tough matchup too. I was forgetting about that.
Yeah. So.
All right, I'm flipping Aaron Jones and OBJ.
Let's go.
All right, let's do it. OBJ, Aaron Jones. Sports Spotlight, another question. Would you start Aaron Jones over Chuba Hubbard, PPR? I think we maybe talked about this earlier, but I think we go Chuba over Aaron Jones in full PPR. You guys agree?
Yes.
Feel free to chime in with any other questions you guys may have. We're going to be on for a little bit longer, maybe 10 to 15 more minutes if we get some more questions rolling in. Saw John Mozales says, oh, man, Waddle or DJ Moore? He's not asking us directly, but I just saw him come through and ask the question in general.
Oh, well, that's the same call I've got.
Oh, you got to make that call as well?
Yeah,
we already talked about that.
Did
you forget about that segment?
What, DJ Moore or Jalen Waddle? That was one of the questions.
Yeah.
We answer a lot of questions here. I forget which ones are directly.
Shane Mack went. Oh my gosh, that's the same exact one that I have to do.
Well, there was someone else involved in it. It was just two
Puka.
players. Yeah, Puka, DJ Moore, and Jalen Waddle. I remember now. Sports Spotlight. So sad Tyreek can't carry my team this week. Yeah, that's tough. Classic fantasy football. A guy, is dominating for you throughout the regular season, get you to the playoffs, and then is inactive. So you gotta make do with what you got. It's tough, but that's the game we play.
Let's see if you guys would have agreed with a question I got this morning where someone in a standard league was asking about Isaiah Likely or Trey McBride in standard.
I like Isaiah Likely.
Yeah, it's a better matchup for sure.
Yeah.
George Play. That wasn't Jackson Mack because Jackson Mack would never be in standard league.
No.
The youngins are all about PPR and they were about Superflex after this year. I don't know, with all the QB injuries, right?
Yeah.
So Jackson Mack had a nice little game last night to start his playoffs with. He had St. Brown and Laporta. So not a bad start there.
Jackson Mack, he slept well last night.
Good for you, Jackson.
Jackson Mack slept well.
George Playa won here. With Olave out, should I start Jalen Waddle, JSN, or pick up Rashid Shaheed non-PPR? Ugh, you guys go ahead and take this one.
I'm still thinking about Jackson Mack's sleep. He's probably sitting there waiting for Shane O'Mac to cook him pancakes. Like, hey,
with peanut butter.
Get in the kitchen, just flexing it, Amon-Ra and Laporta all over him.
Dad, where's the waffles?
What's the waffles? Mom, we want the waffles.
Yeah. Hey, Dad, how are your matchups going, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So what do you guys think? Waddle, JSN, or pick up Shaheed non-PPR?
Oh, Waddle. Based off of those two guys, I'll take Waddle here.
Same.
All right. Sports Spotlight, another question. Thanks for the help. Have a nice day. You as well, buddy. Good luck on all your matchups.
You too, Sports Spotlight.
Me too.
Yeah.
Pick one from Pete over here. I think that's Pate, however you say that. Pick one. Start Elijah Moore, Wandell Robinson, Pop Douglas, DeMarcus Robinson, or Marquise Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood.
Hollywood.
I don't know what I might have to look it up. I just saw a lot of people talking about Wandell Robinson this week, and I don't know if did he have a great high. I'd have to look what his targets and catches were last week.
I'll pull it up.
But
gosh, I'm going through this underdog doc right now.
Yeah.
And I'm making all the Tyreek and Olave changes. And because of the way the draft board lines up and the wide receiver combo being a very popular one, there's a lot of teams that made the playoffs with Hill and Olave being their first two picks, rode them to the playoffs now, and then you lose them. Like, brutal.
Yeah, that's tough. Wandell Robinson last week, 7 targets, 6 catches, 79 yards. He was wide receiver 13 on the week.
that's what I thought, that he had something decent.
Yeah, that's sure interesting.
Really, Elijah Moore's target volume and catches has not been great when Cooper's been fully healthy playing a whole game.
Yeah.
So it was good at the Rams, but that's when Cooper left in the second quarter.
Yeah, Denver, he had 9 targets.
But I feel, what was last week's game?
6 targets, 3 catches, 42 yards.
So I think that's what you're looking at with the healthy Cooper and Rain. I kind of lean in either Pop Douglas or Wandell Robinson.
Yeah, Douglas last game was week 12. 9 targets, 6 catches, 49 yards. Game prior to that, 9 targets, 6 catches, 85 yards. Guy's been good, But again, it's hard to trust a Patriots wide receiver at this point in the season, so it's tough.
Yeah, Wandale Moore or Pop, DeMarcus Robinson, Hollywood. Pick one. I go Hollywood, just from a skill standpoint.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even see Hollywood at the end.
Yeah, over DeMarcus, Pop Douglas, Wandell, Elijah.
Yeah, I might lean that way. Last time he played a full game with Kyler Murray, he had, I think it was 12 targets and 88 yards receiving. So
that's where I am.
George is worried about Sauce Gardner with Waddle, hence his question here with Waddle or Rashid.
Yes.
We said
join the club.
Me too, George. I'm freaking out.
Yeah, we're worried, but also he's just a different tiered wide receiver over JSN and Rashid Shaheed, more talented, and hopefully that will outweigh that option there for you. Jerry Fort, PPR, start 2, Garrett Wilson, Jaden Reed, Ridley, or Shaheed.
Oh, I think it's Wilson and Reed for me. I'm not concerned with Wilson now with Zach Wilson back.
No, that Wilson and Wilson connection looks pretty good. Garrett's just such a good wide receiver. He gets it done. And I like Jaden Reed without Christian Watson this week against Tampa Bay, who doesn't have the best secondary. So I agree with you, Shane. I like Jaden Reed and Garrett Wilson. Kulz, you good there?
Yes.
Garrett Wilson, Jaden Reed over Ridley and Shaheed?
Yep.
Okay. Brian Shade, what's up, B Shade? What's going on? It's been a new Giants wide receiver every week, and Darren Waller is back. Yes, you're absolutely right. So there's a lot of people that want to trust Wandell Robinson after that big game last week, but that's a very good point.
How's Moose doing, B Shade?
So B-Shade said not to worry about Waddle and a Sauce coverage because of pre-snap motion. So
oh, that's a good point. That's a good point, B-Shade. Thanks for your insight. Alex Smith, what's going on? Start 1 PPR. ETN, DeAndre Swift, Waddle, or Kenneth Walker. Start 1 PPR.
It's not Walker versus that Eagles run defense.
No.
I'm going ETN.
Yeah, that's where I was leaning as well.
Just the volume.
Ravens are tough, man. That's a tough matchup.
They are, but I think he gets enough work. Passing game, running game makes up for it. Where Swift, I don't know what's going on with Swift lately. They've worked some more in of. His just touches haven't been there. It's a good matchup for Swift to get right, but I'll just trust ETN.
Yeah. What do you think, Kulz? You think Swift gets right here?
Yeah, I do. I like him.
Over ETN over against Baltimore? B Shade's got a good point here. Swift could be elite if Hurts is out. If Hurts does not play because of that illness, we could see a lot more DeAndre Swift and has a higher chance of scoring a touchdown.
Yeah. I can't believe Hurts is. That's crazy to me. Yeah, I'll go Swift over ETN this week.
Yeah, better matchup. It could have a bounce back week. I think I do like Swift over all.
Yeah, I mean, he was on my love list. I just think ETN, like, I don't love the matchup for ETN. I don't really love that game for the Jaguars. So, yeah. I like Swift.
Yeah. Maverick Waterman, full PPR, start 2. We got Rashee Rice, Jalen Waddle, and DJ Moore. So Waddle Moore combo, start 2. Start both of them over Rice, you're saying, Kulz?
Yeah, tier break in between. I just think Waddle's at a different tier than Rice. That being said, like, I know, like, you know how I feel about Rice. This is just one of those questions where I automatically start Waddle and Moore. Could I see Rice scoring a touchdown and outscoring Waddle? Yeah, but for me, I just try not to put too much. You know, I don't like to get cute, so I just tier break, go Waddle and Moore. That's what I do.
Yeah.
More often than not, over the length of your time playing fantasy football, if you just go with the guys who have more talent and in a different tier, you're gonna, outperform. What's going on there?
My bad. I was trying to set something up and I accidentally clicked the wrong link. All good. Yeah, I like Waddle more. Owls, what's going on? Owls, DJ, or is that Moore or Howell in the super flex? DJ Moore or Sam Howell in the super flex?
It's Howell for me.
Yeah,
super flex. Yeah.
I think he could play good against the Rams.
Taysom Hill or Logan Thomas? Did we already talk about that?
We talked about Taysom Hill, not including Logan Thomas or Darren Waller. What do you guys think? I'm looking up Logan.
I'm not trusting Logan Thomas in my first round of my playoff game.
Yeah, he's been tough lately. Not a good start. Last 2 games, wide receiver, tight end 35 and 39.
And this is half PPR?
Didn't mention, but I hope it's full PPR.
Yeah, I go Taysom over Logan Thomas in this situation.
Yeah.
Waller, first game back. I'm probably going to lean. I'll lean Taysom over Waller. I'm just going to be consistent in my philosophy. And first game back for guys returning from long-term injuries.
Yeah, and we could see more Taysom with Olave out as well.
I could be wrong, but I'm going to stick to my philosophy, and I'm kind of fading away from those type of plays.
Yeah, makes sense. How's it going, Shalav Gaming? Shalav Gaming. I'm not gonna. Well, I'll stop. Start 2: Devontae Smith, OBJ, Isaiah Likely, JSN, or Tyler Lockett.
What was his name?
Shalev Gaming. Shalev Gaming. Start 2. I like OBJ, and then probably Devontae. OBJ and Devontae. Over likely JSN and Lockett. What do you think, Shane?
I like the Philadelphia Seattle matchup. I like Smith and Lockett. Lockett's still getting. I think last game he was still at 6 or 7 catches, 8 or so targets. Philadelphia is horrible against the pass. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. His targets are looking really, really good. 9 targets, 8 targets, 10, 7, 5, 8, 6. Yeah, great matchup. You're sticking with that game then. You're going Devontae and Lockett.
Yeah.
Just looking up something real quick here. Odell Beckham last game, 10 targets, 4 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Yeah, that's
Cole's
tough.
gonna be Cole's is the tiebreaker.
Yeah, OBJ or Lockett, or would you consider likely or JSN as well?
We're not considering Devontae.
Oh well, no. Shane and I were talking. We both like Devontae, and then he likes Lockett over OBJ. I think I go OBJ over Lockett, and we were just curious for your tiebreaker. But yeah, answer the question. Start 2.
I go Lockett. I like that matchup. OBJ's been good. I understand going to him. I just think Lockett's a better situation for me.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Marquise Walker, welcome in. Start 2, PPR. Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf, or DJ Moore. We heard it's pouring rain over there in Cleveland for that DJ Moore Bears Cleveland game. Cooper Kupp's been much better as of lately, and DK Metcalf in a great matchup against Philly. So I go Kupp and DK Metcalf. Do you guys agree?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I love the consolidating of the name, the 2 P's, 1 cup.
2 P's, 1 cup.
Yeah, look.
Yeah.
CUPP. Did you even catch that?
Yeah.
Are you okay, Chuck?
My brain's broken. Cooper Kupp.
Look at how he spelled Cooper Kupp. He just didn't spell it Kupp. That's
okay.
CUPP.
That one threw me for a loop there. I was
Come on.
like, wait, what? Didn't even notice that. Good call there, Kulz. Ikenna, Ikeche. What's going on, Ikechi? Full PPR, OBJ, Singletary, Antonio Gibson.
This is interesting.
Yeah. I go OBJ over Singletary and Antonio. Although Antonio's interesting. I like Antonio.
That's where I go.
With
I
Brian
go
Robinson out. You go Antonio?
Yeah.
He's good in the passing game and should get a ton of carries.
Yeah. I like that. I think I like the Rams to win and cover in that game. But, Washington can score with teams. Yeah, without Brian Robinson, Gibson's going to try to show, his talent. He can make big plays. I like Gibson.
Is that where you go to, Shane?
Yeah, I would. Just on what should be the volume of touches. I think I dismissed the name of Chris Rodriguez before on the show, and you guys got mad at me for doing that. I think
watch out for C-Rod, bro. You watch out for him. He's going to have a big game today, I think.
I think Gibson's going to have the majority of touches.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He also averages 5 receptions a game over the last 5 games, so I agree with you. All right, David, what's going on? Jerome Ford or Devon A-Chain? Yahoo default scoring. Gross.
Let's do a speed round here. We have quite a few questions, and I still get it before we start.
Okay. All right. So answer Jerome Ford or A-Chain. A-Chain.
A-Chain.
A-Chain.
Okay. Geez, Waller, likely, or Schultz? I go likely.
Likely.
Okay. Liam, what's going on? Start 2 full PPR. Calvin Ridley, James Conner, Antonio Gibson. We go
Ridley Gibson or Ridley Conner.
Gibson. I like that.
I like Ridley Gibson.
Yeah, Ridley Gibson is what I do as well.
Okay. D's Nuts, what's going on? Love your name. Wide receiver 2, Zay Jones, OBJ, or Smith and Jigba. Flex, Aaron Jones, or Swift combo. So Jones, OBJ, Smith.
Swift,
I go
sure.
Swift over Aaron Jones, yes, and I go OBJ over Zay and Smith and Jigba.
Yep, I like it.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Komet over Waller. Are we in agreement there?
Yeah, Komet over
Yes.
Waller.
Komet over Waller.
Yep.
Pick 2 more and Cup.
Yep.
A-Chain over Aaron Jones.
Yep.
I'm in the toilet bowl and I have to eat 50 hot dogs.
Love this.
If I lose
50 hot dogs.
A-Chain.
Oh my
A-Chain
god.
or Jones. I'm going A-Chain, and can you drop your Twitter?
Yes.
Instagram Live. Drop your Instagram handle so we can watch the.
Yes, please. If this happens, Charlie, please. I want to see this.
I love that. What's it called?
Punishment.
Punishment. Yeah, I love that punishment for a league. That is hysterical. I've never heard of that. So Cooper Kupp or Bijan PPR.
Bijan. I think he has a huge day, especially with the weather.
Yep. Stafford
loves
Love.
Stafford.
Love.
Yeah, full stack the Rams there, baby. Stafford, Kupp, and Kyron.
Yeah, I like that.
See Lions 37-37. I'm gonna be. How do we know? Can you? I somehow want to know if you lose, so I can pop on the Instagram Live. Do you know what time you would be eating 50 hot dogs?
Just Charlie, tweet at us. Tweet us when you know the time this would happen.
Yeah. Appreciate I appreciate you answering these questions. I threw you an invite. Would love to have you come on.
Tweet at us at these tags.
Yep.
I'll DM you on Twitter beforehand. Perfect. Awesome.
Love
Beautiful.
it. We will all
please
three
tweet that out,
be
Kulz.
watching this live if it happens.
Yeah,
I love it.
for sure.
That's awesome. All right. Well,
I'm also jealous. I want to eat 50 hot dogs.
No, you don't want to eat 50 hot dogs.
I've eaten 13 at a Astros game before.
That's a lot, but that's not 50. So
yeah, like Charlie, I want to know: is there a time limit on this, or is it like, do you have a full day to do
50
it?
hot dogs.
Are you gonna prep at all? Are you gonna eat like a ton like weeks prior and see how many you can get down? Like that's, I would imagine it's like one of those eating contests where you're just eating dogs and then buns and water.
Stafford or Hurts? We talked about this earlier. Stafford. We all think he's gonna have a big week, and Hurts. Yeah. Well, I need to eat before this. Are we staying on for a little bit, or
no? I was just about to sign us off.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm someone that relies on food heavily, and I'm feeling the hunger strike. So
okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, before Kulz eats his microphone over there, we're gonna sign off. We appreciate everybody watching, listening, interacting, asking questions. You guys are the best. We are here. Big boy's got to eat. Yes,
got to eat big to get big. B-Shade.
We appreciate everybody watching, listening. This episode is brought to you by Rule One Proteins. Go to www.rule1proteins.com. Get big like Mike. Enter promo code Roadies40 at checkout for 40% off. That's Roadies40.
You guys are all Chicago boys. We need to eat. Big boys in the Midwest.
I'm gonna go eat too. I'm gonna go cook something else.
Shane O'Mac, are you cooking pancakes for Jax O'Mac or what?
Yeah, we already had our waffles. We're good.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Yeah. All right. Until next time, everybody. We appreciate you guys so much, and stay tuned for future drops.
Good luck.
Oh yeah. Pull up, everybody.
Especially you, Charlie.